Hey, what's up, fam? Okay, the chapter so far is not going exactly the way that I kind of wanted or predicted in terms of the fight with the Foot brothers. The who I expected would have been kind of the power display, kind of measuring sticks for maybe Weiss and Rebecca to fight and kind of to show off more of what they're capable of. And maybe Shiki went to go fight Sibir, but we're kind of set up to the reverse of that. And then, seeming like these two aren't. It seems like they're strong, and to a degree, we don't know what the average kind of strength level is within the kind of like the Eden's world where they're at now. We're still pretty early in. We don't know kind of how Shiki is. We knew that given what given what Jose kind of talked about within uh, in the Phantom Lord arc, that Natsu was kind of a upper tier foot soldier. Though he was strong, he beat Gagiel, and I know there kind of was talk of the Elemental Four kind of being S class level, and Gagiel was above them. Not really. I think we could all look at that and kind of just see like before the time skip, like all the other guild, like Arakion Sace, Grimoire Heart, people from Trinity Raven, and everything around that area of where characters were strength wise. And so I guess it's not pathetic for the Foot brothers because they were able to seemingly like no difficulty like knock aside bullets with their feet. It just they clearly weren't enough for Shiki, who was kind of pissed off after kind of a seeing these robots that were all similar to Michael, one of the robots from Grand Bell, obviously where he's from. I know they were mass produced for Sibir, but they kind of broke, and he ended up throwing them into this kind of underground garbage dump, and he just didn't feel like taking care of them anymore, keeping them around. And obviously, Shiki, whose family growing up around all these robots, to him, especially being reminded about Michael, that it's gonna tick him off. And I actually liked the part of the flashback that's it kind of went into his though he switches around kind of his roles in a playful way. Being a mechanic seems to be his main one. He seems pretty at least trying to be mechanically and tech savvy, but seems like the robots just didn't tell him that they had auto repair units and functions within them. So anytime he probably thought he fixed them, they were actually fixing themselves. And I thought that was a good kind of aspect to put on the robots to show even though they were robots, they had some form of conscience, so that they cared about Shiki and they were willing to lie to make him happy. And once this robot, I think his name was Johnny, that was his unit name, broke down, Shiki kind of got pissed off, and you can kind of see the difference between him being pissed off and something like Natsu. Natsu be pissed off and he kind of go on this vicious onslaught where Shiki's seems much more of a pissed off innocence. He kind of just goes up, attacks the Foot Brothers, but it's not his objective. He goes right for Sibir, and he's getting ready. It looks like to fight him. And actually, I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly Sibir is capable of. So from what I got from Wise, it looks like his arm is stronger than his mech, and maybe his mech is just kind of the warm up. Because once he kind of bumped that out, Wise showed a little bit of caution and hesitation, and acknowledging that it was dangerous. And though Shiki was able to defeat the Foot Brothers pretty easy, these guys who one of them was able to just put in his a foot like shaped dent into a side of solid steel, and block all these bullets. I did think it was funny when talking about them that they wanted to they pretty much gave up attacking Rebecca because the Foot Brothers, they ended up being very enticed by her legs. I guess they're leg fellas. But uh, actually something around that kind of threw me up is I was like thinking of like, man, how powerful must Shiki be to these like throwing like hitting this giant steel cube and throwing them there. And then I remembered he's out his gravity powers. It probably is weighing like nothing to him right now, which is both like, damn, it could have been like a strength gauging thing, but at the same time it's like, damn, it's pretty cool for his powers at the same time. And then he comes down, beats them up, and then instantly like flies towards Sibir, goes right through his mech, and rips and kind of kicks him right out of there. And it kind of reminded me of when they beat the Dorna Anim, Dorna Anim. I'm trying to remember. Dorma Anim, sorry, from the Edelus arc with Faust. Except I'd say that robot is definitely much stronger than this one, this mech. And that kind of led up to the Sibir getting pissed off, bringing out his mechanical arm, and Shiki and punching him in the head. With the next chapter, I kind of have two things that I'm thinking about right now. So either these are my guesses to chapter 10, which is called "We're Friends, Aren't We?" Is either Sibir isn't defeated yet, and he's gonna get up and he's gonna keep fighting, and that was just kind of the intimidation punch, or he's not the main opponent of this arc, or this mini arc. I think the other option is that who Shiki will end up fighting and kind of having that display of strength will be against Wise himself and not actually Sibir, and Sibir was just kind of the warm up then to get him pissed off and build a little bit more of his character with this whole like scrap heap underneath his base. So tell me what you think about this chapter below. I thought it was good. The only thing I'd like to say is the only complaint I had is if I wish the Foot Brothers got something more, and if Sibir ends up losing, I hope that we at least get a fight before this arc kind of ends and we get to the next part. I want to see I want to see the equivalent, like I said, with Haru had Lance, Natsu had Aragorn, and I'm hoping that either Shiki's first kind of like pushed fight will be with either Sibir or maybe someone like Weiss. But otherwise, otherwise maybe check out my videos. I do mostly manga. Eden Zero, obviously Eden Zero in this one. I messed up my closeout. Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, and Black Clover. If you're subscribed to my channel already, I thank you very much for doing so. And if you aren't subscribed, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening. Maybe check out my Twitter because I'm probably gonna do a live stream today. And if you wanna, be kept up to date on the live stream schedules, just check my Twitter. I'll say beforehand a decent amount of time before I do it and try and say within a few days of the stream what day I'm going to stream. And yeah, so I'll put that in the description below. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening. Bye.